welcome to E-Town News, जहां आपको मिलेगा डेली डोज ऑफ बॉलीवुड न्यूज, फैशन ट्रेंड्स, टीवी एंड सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हर अपडेट. A show which gives you the day's lowdown of all the best happenings in the world of glamour. तो इंतजार किस बात का? Let's take a look at today's headlines. उर्फी जावेद ने दिखाई न्यू स्टाइलिंग ऑफ साड़ी. किस तरह बिग बी ने किया रिएक्ट ऑन ट्रोलर्स कॉलिंग हिम बुढ़ाऊ. शहनाज गिल का कभी ईद कभी दिवाली लुक हुआ लीक. कभी ईद कभी दिवाली के सेट से शहनाज गिल के लुक का एक वीडियो आया सामने. सलमान खान के साथ शहनाज गिल ने भी शुरू की फिल्म की शूट. साड़ी और गजरे में अपने फेवरेट स्टार को देख शहनाज गिल के फैंस हुए इम्प्रेस. शहनाज गिल ने शुरू की अपनी बिग बॉलीवुड डेब्यू की शूटिंग. सलमान खान की फिल्म कभी ईद कभी दिवाली के सेट से लीक हुआ शहनाज गिल का लुक. वेल यस, रिसेंटली फिल्म की शूट के लिए जा रही शहनाज गिल का एक लेटेस्ट वीडियो सामने आया है, जिसमें वो अपनी वैनिटी वैन से उतरकर सेट की तरफ जाती देखी जा सकती हैं. इस समय शहनाज गिल फिल्म के अपने गेटअप में थी, जिसके लिए उन्होंने साड़ी कैरी की है और बालों में गजरा लगा रखा है. वैसे सलमान खान ने भी रिसेंटली अपने इंस्टाग्राम पेज पर फिल्म से अपना लुक रिवील करते हुए एक पोस्ट शेयर किया था, जिसमें उन्होंने फिल्म की शूट शुरू होने की इंफॉर्मेशन दी थी. सलमान खान रोट, शूटिंग कमेंसेस फॉर माय न्यू फिल्म. सलमान खान के इस पोस्ट को शेयर करते ही विद इन नो टाइम ये पोस्ट वायरल हो गया और सोशल मीडिया पर ट्रेंड करने लगा. सलमान खान ने इसके साथ अपनी जो पिक्चर शेयर की थी, उसमें वो लंबे बाल, ब्लैक जैकेट और सनग्लासेस में फिल्म के किसी एक्शन सीक्वेंस की शूटिंग करते नजर आ रहे हैं. इस पिक में सलमान खान के हाथ में एक पाइप भी है, जिसकी वजह से उनका हाफ फेस दिख नहीं रहा है. लेकिन फिर भी सलमान खान के फैंस ने उनके इस लुक को प्रेज किया और उनके पोस्ट पर कमेंट किया. भाई इज बैक. Another comment read, "We can't wait for your return, भाई." साफ है सलमान खान के फैंस उनकी इस मच एंटिसिपेटेड फिल्म कभी ईद कभी दिवाली का डेस्परेटली वेट कर रहे हैं. सलमान खान और शहनाज गिल के साथ ही पूजा हेगड़े भी इस फिल्म में नजर आएंगी और हाल ही में उन्होंने अपने फैंस के लिए अपनी एक पिक्चर शेयर की थी, जिसमें वो सलमान खान के आइकॉनिक टर्कोइज ब्रेसलेट के साथ पोज कर रही थी. साथ ही उन्होंने बताया था कि फिल्म की शूट शुरू हो चुकी है. वैसे कभी ईद कभी दिवाली में राघव जुयाल ने भी अपने होने की न्यूज को कंफर्म किया है. He reveals, "I'm playing a pivotal role along with Pooja Hegde, Ayush Sharma and Zahir Iqbal, which is directed by Farhad Samji. This entertainer is much awaited film of the year. It will be something different from what I have done before and looking forward to it." यानी आयुष शर्मा, जहीर इकबाल एंड सलमान खान के साथ ही राघव जुयाल भी अपने एक्शन सीन्स की शूट कर रहे हैं. बता दें सलमान खान की ये फिल्म इसी साल उनके बर्थडे पर रिलीज होगी. इस फिल्म को फरहाद सामजी डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, वहीं साजिद नाडियाडवाला इस फिल्म का प्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं. अमिताभ बच्चन ने ली ट्रोलर्स की क्लास. बिग बी को बुढ़ा कहने वालों की अमिताभ बच्चन ने की बोलती बंद. बिग बी, आई प्रे नो वन इंसल्ट्स यू इन योर ओल्ड एज. अमिताभ बच्चन ने ट्रोलर्स का किया मुंह बंद. बिग बी ने सोशल मीडिया पर उन्हें ट्रोल करने वालों को दिया करारा जवाब. दरअसल अमिताभ बच्चन ने संडे को करीब 11:30 बजे अपने फैंस को सोशल मीडिया पर गुड मॉर्निंग विश किया. While his fans wished him in return, others questioned him for sending morning wishes when it was almost noon. ऐसे में एक सोशल मीडिया यूजर ने लिखा, "Don't you think you have wished a good morning very early?" To which Big B replied, "I'm grateful for the taunt, but I was working late night. Shooting wrapped up this morning. I got late in waking up, so sent wishes as soon as I did. If it hurt you, then I apologize." यही नहीं, अमिताभ बच्चन ने इसी तरह कई ट्रोलर्स को जवाब दिया। एक सोशल मीडिया यूजर ने लिखा, अबे बुड्ढे, दोपहर हो गई। Amitabh Bachchan wrote in response, I pray that you have a long age, but no one insults you by calling you a buddha then. Another user referred to him as Budhao, and as Amitabh Bachchan's fans defended him from the troll, saying that he might be in a different time zone, the actor told them, let him say, he is telling the truth. No, I'm in the country only. I was working all night, so woke up late. Another person trolled him by calling him Mahanalayak. The user wrote, "ये कौन सी प्रातः काल है महानालायक जी?" And Amitabh Bachchan replied, "I was working all night, so woke up late. लायक जी." Another wrote, आज बहुत देर में उतरी, लगता है देसी पी आ गए हैं। आजकल 11:30 बजे प्रातः काल। Amitabh Bachchan replied, I do not drink. Make others drink Madhushala. हालांकि many others supported Amitabh Bachchan against insulting comments. One wrote, people are commenting as though they wake up with the Brahma Muhurat. वैसे अमिताभ बच्चन ने recently ये भी reveal किया था that he has received government notices for some of his posts on his social media accounts and has been asked to make changes to them. He said, there are strict rules and regulations now by the GOI, Government of India, and the ASCI, Advertising Standards Council of India, guidelines. I think that is who they are, who have now given ruling that influencers, a new terminology for them that put up product pictures with a mention of product pictures to state that they are the sponsors, promoters, etc. or in partnership. He further said, else it is becoming illegal. So several posts of mine have been given notices that the changes should be done, else, yeah. It's a tough life, ain't it? And all the biggies that are buying out the biggies of social media give reasons for incentives, increases, etc. on the numbers, for that is what brings them the commercial. अक्सर ट्रोलर्स स्टार्स को काफी हद तक ट्रोल कर देते हैं। ऐसे में स्टार्स को अपनी चुप्पी तोड़कर उनकी क्लास लेनी ही पड़ती है।
तवे पे सेक के कपड़े पहनूं, फ्रीजर से निकाल के कपड़े पहनूं, मेरी मर्जी। हॉट एंड कोल्ड, मेरी मर्जी।
उर्फी जावेद को साड़ी में स्पॉट करने के बाद नेटिजन्स ने किया ट्रोल। नेटिजन्स ने कहा, उर्फी जावेद का हर स्टाइल होता है फ्लॉप। उर्फी जावेद अपने पेक्यूलियर सेंस ऑफ स्टाइल के लिए हमेशा ट्रोलर्स के निशाने पर रहती हैं। उर्फी जावेद अपने देसी लुक में की गई स्पॉट। एयरपोर्ट पर उर्फी जावेद का ये सारी अवतार नेटिजन्स को नहीं आया पसंद। इंटरनेट सेंसेशन उर्फी जावेद अपने हटके फैशन स्टाइल के लिए हमेशा न्यूज में रहती हैं। हालांकि इसके लिए उन्हें हमेशा नेगेटिव लाइमलाइट ही मिलती है, लेकिन इससे उर्फी जावेद के बिजार फैशन पर जरा भी असर नहीं पड़ता। अब रिसेंटली एयरपोर्ट से आया उर्फी जावेद का ये वीडियो ही देख लीजिए, जिसमें वो ब्लू फ्लोरल साड़ी विद अ ब्रालेट ब्लाउज में नजर आ रही हैं। वैसे तो अपने सारी लुक को लेकर उर्फी जावेद बेहद कॉन्फिडेंट दिखीं और यहाँ उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि कैसे साड़ी को ग्लैमरस बनाया जा सकता है। वहीं जब उर्फी जावेद पैप्स से इंटरैक्ट कर रही थीं, तो पैप्स ने पूछ लिया वो सवाल जो कि नेटिजन्स बेसब्री से जानने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। कौन है उनका डिजाइनर?
सबके कपड़े मैं डिजाइन करवाऊंगी एक दिन। मेरी बर्थडे पे सब मेरे दिए हुए कपड़े पहन के आओगे।
इस सवाल का जवाब खुद उर्फी जावेद ने दिया विद इंटरेस्टिंग कमबैक फॉर पैप्स एज वेल।
सबके कपड़े मैं डिजाइन करवाऊंगी एक दिन।
लेकिन वहीं नेटिजन्स ने उनकी साड़ी पहनने के स्टाइल को लाइक नहीं किया और उन्हें ट्रोल करने लगे। नेटिजन्स रोट, साड़ी की तो इज्जत कर लो थोड़ा मैडम, ऐसे कौन पहनता है? एटलीस्ट साड़ी तो पहनी। ऐसे ड्रेस में क्या प्रूव कर रही हो आप बहुत अच्छे हो? अगर सच में अच्छे हो तो ढके हुए ड्रेस में भी अच्छे लगोगे। वैसे उर्फी जावेद ने इससे पहले भी जब साड़ी कैरी की थी तो उन्हें हर बार नेटिजन्स के ट्रोल का ही शिकार होना पड़ा था। देखिए कुछ दिन पहले जब फ्लोरल प्रिंट साड़ी में स्किपिंग करते हुए उर्फी जावेद को ट्रोल करते हुए एक यूजर ने लिखा था, ये क्या पागलपंती है। Another said, ये फैशन डिजाइनर में सबको पीछे छोड़ देगी।
कोई guess?
उर्फी जावेद के इस देसी लुक पर भी नजर डालिए, जिसमें वो ब्लू एंड व्हाइट साड़ी में है. However, she ditched the blouse and flaunted her back while dancing to Justin Bieber's song Sorry. यानी उर्फी जावेद जब भी साड़ी में नजर आई हैं, उन्होंने खुलकर फ्लॉन्ट किया है, कभी अपने टोन्ड वेस्ट को, कभी अपनी बैक को. और शायद यही वजह है कि जहां साड़ी में हर एक्ट्रेस बेहद खूबसूरत लगती है, वहीं अटेंशन पाने के चक्कर में उर्फी जावेद को इस लुक में ट्रोल ही किया गया है. यही नहीं, नेटिजन्स को उर्फी जावेद का हर स्टाइल ही फ्लॉप लगता है, फिर चाहे वो उनका देसी स्टाइल हो या फिर उनका वेस्टर्न लुक ही क्यों ना हो. और इसका अंदाजा आप भी उनके अलग अलग इन वेस्टर्न स्टाइल्स को देखकर लगा सकते हैं. इनमें से शायद ही उर्फी जावेद के किसी लुक को प्रेस किया गया होगा. ऐसे में अब हमें तो लगता है कि उर्फी जावेद को अपनी फैशन डिजाइनिंग स्किल्स पर थोड़ा और काम करने की जरूरत है. Coming up on the show, 10 years in industry के मौके पर अर्जुन कपूर ने किया Zoom से exclusively interact.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is an extremely hardworking actor. Nobody completes 10 years without being hardworking and talented. I'm talking about the very funny and the very talented Arjun Kapoor. Hello, you are funny now, don't be like...
Yes, I am. No, there's a lot of pressure on that part because...
Of course you have to be funny now.
These interviews, everybody's expecting me that I'll be only cracking jokes and all, but I'm feeling very proud of my achievements, so I want to be a little sincere about my 10 years also.
I'll start with that picture you put on Instagram where you wrote, on the set, I think it was a very old picture of yours and you said life was so much simpler back then, with simpler things. I'm going to start there. Why was life so much more simpler and why is it after 10 years, you're doing great of course, but why is it more complicated now?
I don't think it comes from any specific place. I think the profession comes with its complications and not in a complaining way, but you don't realize how much you have to encompass in trying to be an actor in a mainstream world in this profession, because social media, the media, you're not trained or taught to live a life off camera that is being pursued and absorbed and consumed on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. It was simpler also because you could be more of yourself and not having been clicked by a phone if you're just standing somewhere. Having a meal. So it's not a complaint, it's just the world was a simpler place 10 years back. We are in a very complex and complicated time. We've had to deal with a pandemic, we've had to deal with, there's a lot more angst, there's a lot more negativity in the world, there's a lot more going on. 2012 seems like eons back, it's only 10 years, but the world was a little simpler. Yeah. And I do feel the toxicity that has come in with the mobile phone, having social media and the camera and all, does add to a lot of pressure in this profession. Nobody is perfect. But you ought to be. Also, your opinions now are they're like literally
dissected.
Yeah, you're slashed for having. You can be wrong. Why is it? Or you might not have all the information to form an opinion, or you might not want to share your opinion. Your privacy is a little more encroached, and you're very aware. So you don't take people on face value anymore. You're always gauging and sussing. So there's a lot more guard up.
You feel more judged also.
Always, and the judgment is now passed. While they're watching the trailer of a film, while they're watching how you're going to the airport, they're watching if you're standing in a particular way, if your t-shirt doesn't fit right, if your eyes look sunken because you might be tired from working but you're supposedly not good looking enough. So now judgment is passed very conveniently, no consequences to it also. And I'm saying you judge me for the work that I do, but nowadays people when they're watching films are tweeting first hand about the review rather than watching the film. That's I think lack of absolute respect for the film, and a lot of people are consuming you to just make fun of you because that gets them clickbait. So not as simple, na? When like it's a very small thing. I put up a picture where I've lost a bit of weight from 2021 to 22, and I've written below that this is me, this is who I am, with the chest hair included. Yeah. So people now obviously have nothing to troll me on because I've confessed that I looked like that a year back and now I look like this. Yeah. I've owned up to what was wrong with me or what was not right with me or what I was working on or what was stopping me from being the way I looked during Ishaq Zadeh. And I did it very honestly and very candidly. I am that person. Yeah. So now there's nothing to make fun of. So now what do they make fun of? The fact that I have chest hair.
They're making fun of that as well.
Yeah, and then what happens is certain portals carry that versus not
The
carrying it. I'm not
transformation.
saying you need to, don't carry my transformation. मुझे उससे कोई परहेज नहीं है, आप मत करो भाई.
But I think it was so inspiring.
मेरे पास उतने फॉलोअर्स है कि जिनको देखना है और जो इंस्पायर होना चाहते हैं, जो कंज्यूम होना चाहते हैं, वो कर लेंगे. आप मत कीजिए, बट आप नेगेटिविटी क्यों कैरी कर रहे हो? Somewhere that regard for knowing, because everybody is young and naive, then they come in and everybody is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You're just learning on the job, and then 10 years later, everybody is figuring it out also. People are just I can go on and on. Yeah. The point is, it was much simpler 10 years back because social media and the media and us, it's a vicious circle. We've put ourselves out there. I don't like being out there so much. I'm doing a physical interview with after 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm quite content not always being out there. But it's the demand of the profession now that every day you have to be consumed, otherwise you're not relevant. But we are forgetting to work on the films. We are only working on our perception.
It's tiring for someone like you, at least. I know.
Very tiring and very frustrating.
That, and of course, you know, I remember how you mentioned that, including your friends, including your partner, including how Malaika has, you know, also encouraged you. I feel like it shows, right?
But I think the audience encouraged me by giving me a sign. My films were doing really well when I started out, and then I was not looking my best in some of them, and slowly the films also didn't do as well. And not only doing well, I think, like for me, the first sign was Half Girlfriend opened at 10 crores, and Mubaraka opened at 3 months later at 5 crores.
Yeah.
So normally it should be the other way around, you know. And I was like, okay, now here's a sign, because Mubaraka is a pretty entertaining film. It did well. Eventually, it caught up and did 55 crores. So ऐसा नहीं कि लोग मुझे देखना नहीं चाहते, but मेरे लिए टिकट नहीं खरीद रहे थे. And that's a problem, because you also want to be the reason people come to the theatre first day first show. Then the film should talk.
Yeah.
So hint आ गई थी. I didn't act upon it. Being aware is one thing. Doing something about it is another. So it took me a while to. I got the message from the audience. I got the support and all from the family members. I got nudges from my mentors and from the people who care about me. I didn't act upon it at that time because I was getting away with it to some degree. I was also running away from life to some degree, and I was just thinking, अगली picture आएगी ना, मैं 3 महीने लूँगा, इनसे 4-5 किलो तो कर लूँगा. I didn't take it for granted. I knew I had to work hard. I was just delaying it, and I was just trying to find the perfect reason to do it. There's never a perfect reason. As an actor, you owe it to your audience to look the part. You can make mistakes in selecting the material, but you can't make a mistake in the way you present yourself as the character.
Sure.
It helps in certain films when you're not perfect, but the kind of films that we do, or I do, most of them you need to look the part to begin.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's a wonderful transformation.
Thank you.
It seems apt that we're celebrating that. Look at how far you've come, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's back to, I feel I'm much closer to what I felt during Ishaqzadeh and Aurangzeb and Gunde and 2 States. I think I'm much closer to that mentality, physicality and emotional equilibrium. So I feel in 10 years I've lived a roller coaster, but it's like life coming a full circle. If you can say it for somebody, I think for me it's most apt.
It's so tough, right? But I feel like you have really example of somebody who showed at the end when you put that picture. It must be so satisfying because you did it for yourself.
It was very spontaneous, you know. Honestly, I realized that I'd taken a picture for my trainer and kept in 2021. I'd taken the picture that time when we were just training on Zoom at that point in time. For some strange reason, he was not. I think he was not in town or whatever. But photo लेकर रखी थी. And then the other day I was in the van. I was shooting for Lady Killer and I had some free time and I was in the van and I said, "Wow, I'm not looking too bad now, yeah." So I clicked and then I compared it. I said, "Wow, this is worth putting out." So it was very unplanned and incidental, but I didn't realize how empowering it would be for people who are. And I said this recently. I said it in another interview. देखो मैं टाइगर श्रॉफ हूँ नहीं, ना कभी बन सकता हूँ, ना कभी बनना चाहता था. He started training at the age of 14-15. He's got a terrific skill set. He's worked and honed that body, that physicality, the dance, the action. He's unique. He's once in a lifetime. I am not. I am somebody who was 143 kgs till I was 22 years old. I fought into being fit, and then I've lost my way. And that happens to a lot of people. They gain weight, lose weight, life happens, and that's what's happened to me. Yes, my profession has suffered because of it, as in my fans have felt disappointed, audiences have got upset about it. But I'm still trying, and that's important. And I need people to know that it's okay to fail. Don't be scared of it. It's not okay to give up, and it's not okay to be negative about it. And you should be supportive and encouraging to people. So me putting my first picture out is saying, listen, I know right now that t-shirt is a bit tight on you, that was loose maybe 3 months back. I know that you're suddenly standing and feeling like, "Arey, my legs are not looking the same." I feel it every 4 days. I go through it. I'm no different. Yes, I have a lot of paraphernalia around to help me today.
Sure.
And a lot of people have 9 to 5 jobs and they travel. But hang in there, keep at it, and don't let the bullshit. Sometimes if you can influence 10 people also, it's a job done. And when I started, Rudrani, the interesting thing was there were a lot of people who were motivated by seeing me. In a very nice way, they came up to me and told me about it.